welcome to the CBU Capers men's basketball team. Second home game versus the Memorial Seahawks here today at Sullivan Fieldhouse. The Capers won last night, pretty big over the Seahawks. Although it was a close first half. We'll see if Memorial can rebound and make it a closer game here today.
Starting for the Seahawks is number 10, Jacob Breton, number 33, Caleb Gould, number 22, Emmanuel Kofi, number 5, Davian Pransalu, and number 7, Noel Moffat.
And in the starting lineup for the Capers is Meshach Lufile, Kelson Devereaux, Tavon Jackson, along with Seth Amoa and Kyle Hankins.
Kofi with the ball for the Seahawks. Over to Gould. Down low to Ranton. Ranton goes up, and he gets the first bucket of today's game.
Tavon Jackson moves it up the floor. He had 11 points and 6 steals in last night's win. He's a rookie out of Toronto.
Pransalu with the ball. Good screen by Gould. Can't hit. Gould gets the offensive rebound. Over to Kofi.
Capers look like they anticipated the rebound a bit too early there.
Kofi to Gould. Gould goes up. He's blocked. Goes up again. Blocked again. And Devereaux pushes for the Capers.
Devereaux from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Went to Riverview in high school. And at the line for the Capers is Kyle Hankins.
Noel Moffat just picked up his first personal foul for the Seahawks.
Hankins nails the first free throw and makes them both. Capers putting some pressure on the Seahawks right now.
Pransalu over to Kofi. Gets it up to Moffat. Over to Gould. And back to Kofi to set up the offense. Kofi attacks. Finds Ranton in the corner. His three is off. Rebounded by Lufile.
Breton had 21 points, leading the Seahawks last night. And with the ball now is Seth Amoa. Finds Lufile down on the low block. And they get something going.
Devereaux attacks. Can't finish with the left hand. Rebounded by Kofi. Kofi up the floor to Moffat. He'll pull a three. And he hits the three. Amoa with the ball for the Capers. Down low to Lufile. Skip pass to Devereaux in the corner. He'll shoot the three. Can't hit. Rebounded by Gould. Kofi up the court to Pransalu, and he can't track that one down. It's going to be Capers' ball.
And Tavon Jackson will take it up the floor.
And the shot is good.
And now Memorial have possession.
Pransalu over to Gould. Gould to Kofi. He'll drive baseline. Kick it out to Moffat. Moffat fakes the three. Tries to draw the contact. No foul called. Capers' ball.
And inbounding the ball for the Capers will be Kyle Hankins. Gets it to Tavon Jackson, who will run the offense.
Hankins, back to Jackson.
Little screen and roll action.
He pulls the three, just short. Rebounded by Ranton, over to Kofi. Kofi tries to hand it off to Pransalu, can't. Kicks it out to him. Over to Ranton. Gets the ball to Kofi. Kofi screened by Gould. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Gonna have to force something up here. And Instead, he steps on the out of bounds line. Steps on the baseline.
Memorial had 26 turnovers in last night's game. They're hoping to protect the ball a bit more here today. And the Capers inbound. Jackson takes it up. Jackson looks for Devereaux.
Devereaux to Hankins. He drives.
Nice take. Big rebound by Lufile and puts it there. Mishak had a big game in the home opener yesterday. Went 9 for 10 from the field for 21 points, along with 9 rebounds. He's going to have to be big this year for the Capers if they want to continue.
Well, he's pretty big.
Yep, true.
Breton with the ball for the Seahawks. Over to Prince Alu. 2 seconds of the shot clock. He'll have to force up a prayer, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. 3 shots coming for Prince Alu.
Seth Amoa is not happy with that. Talking to the referee about what he did wrong.
Maybe a little bailout call there by the referee. And Prince Alu was short on the first. Hits the second. Devereaux not quite sure how many shots he was going to take there.
Good box out though.
You know, just good to get that repetition in there. And Prince Alu hits 2 of 3 from the line.
It's 7-6 right now for Memorial. About halfway through the first quarter of action.
Moa with the ball. He finds Devereaux. Then the Lufile.
Mishak double teamed, kicks it out. Swings it to the corner, and Moa can't get it to fall.
Moffett pushes. Tries to get it to Branton, but it is off of Branton, and it's going to be Capers' possession.
Capers are ranked 6th in the country this year after an 8-1 start to the preseason.
Only loss coming at the hands of McMaster.
Here's Tavon. And he gets called for a travel.
That 8-1 record includes tournament wins at UNB and St. Francis Xavier.
And 3 new Capers are going to come into the game at the next whistle.
Moffett takes. He can't hit. Rebound by Lufile.
Lufile racking up the boards early on in this game, and Devereaux.
Open look for 3, and he connects.
Devereaux isn't really a scorer for the Capers. He does a lot of the little things like defensive rebounding for them. But hasn't really been a scorer. Maybe this year he'll step up. Keon Mayers into the game for the Capers, injured all last season.
And backcourt violation by the Capers, by the Seahawks. Just under 5 minutes to play. The score is 9-7 in favor of the home Capers. Stolen by Prince Alu. He pulls up for the long 2 and connects.
Best shot to take, Alex. Early in the shot clock, in transition, taking a long.
The long 2 isn't really what he was. I think he lost track of his footing and maybe thought he was shooting a 3. Yep. Nice hit. Up to Moffett, over to Prince Alu. He tries to get it down low but can't. Steals it back though. And it's going to be Seahawks ball.
Entering the game for the Seahawks, number 14, Alfred Masusi, and number 40, Austin Chambers.
You can hit us up on Twitter at Dylan_White and at AlexMcLeod24 for feedback, questions, comments, criticism. Whatever you want.
Nice take
We'd
here
love to
by
hear from
Breton.
you.
He gets it to go. Ties it up at 11.
And here's Mares with the ball. Swings it to Hankins, and now Devereaux looks inside to AJ Gujez. Devereaux into the paint. And here's Jean-Louis, who had 11 points last night, and Mares pulls up from deep, can't get it to go, but the offensive rebound finds the Capers alive. Here's Devereaux on the wing with it. Gets it to Jean-Louis. Back to Devereaux. Jean-Louis pulls up from three and can't get it to fall.
Rebound by Ranton, outlet it to Kofi. Kofi finds Ranton. Ranton to Chambers, down to Kofi. Chambers will pull for three. He can't connect. Offensive rebound by Ranton. Again, can't connect.
And here's Mares pushing up the floor on the fast break, slows it down, kicks it to Jean-Louis, and he gets called for the travel.
Little hop in there before he got the shot off.
Now in the game for the Capers, number 7, Noah, and number 0, Vishal.
Seth Noah into the game for the Capers, along with Vishal Banipal.
Kofi carries up court for the Seahawks. He finds Ranton. Ranton will pull the three. Short on that attempt.
Nice rebound there from Mares, and Banipal pulls up. Transition three is no good.
And Ranton controls. He finds Kofi. Over to Chambers. Chambers gets it down low to Kasusi. Kasusi out to Ranton. And Juges will be called for the blocking foul.
Capers foul number 15, AJ Gujez is first.
It's going to be Seahawks possession on the sideline.
Over to Kofi. Over to Ranton in the corner. He'll skip to Moffitt. Ranton pulls for three and hits another splash.
Here's Keon Mares. Over to Banipal.
Nice pass down low to Gujez.
AJ Gujez. There's going to be a foul on the floor. Capers will have it on the baseline.
Seahawks foul number 10, Jacob Breton, his first, and foul number 2.
Just over 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter of action. Seahawks are leading the Capers by a score of 14-11.
Gujez. Nice little move, but
Fouled by Ranton on the baseline.
Seahawks foul number 10, Jacob Breton, his second, team foul number 3. Again, took the game for the Seahawks number 33, Caleb Gould.
and Vishal Banipal
And in the game for
him down for the Capers.
Mishak, blue 5.
And Mishak is back into the game for CBU. And start their play before the ball's in Banipal's hands.
Into Jean-Louis.
Nice tip there.
Kofi pushes up for the Seahawks. Over to Kasusi. Back to Kofi. Finds
ball
Chambers for
movement.
three. And he can't hit.
And here's Jean-Louis with the ball. And he turns it over.
Stolen by Chambers. Chambers pushes it up. Over to Kofi. Gets away with the travel. Dishes over to Moffitt. Down low to Gould. Gould a little fade. Can't hit. Rebound by Amoa.
And here's Jean-Louis stripped of the ball.
Oh, nice hands there by Jean-Louis, but he couldn't handle the layup.
Jean-Louis is off to a tough start here today at 11 points last night.
Good spark off the bench for the Capers.
Yep.
Nice spin move there by Amoa. He can't hit. Kofi pushes up.
Cody Ledbeater likes that on the bench.
Nice defense there by the Capers.
I think Cody Ledbeater is the Robert Sacre of this Capers team.
He's the heart and soul of this
Yeah,
team.
he's really getting into it on the bench, pumping up the players. He's the chemist. You know?
I actually heard he's majoring in chemistry.
Oh, really?
I may be misspoken, but
And here's Keon Mears pushing it up the floor.
over to Hankins, over to Amoa.
Good ball movement here from the
That's
Capers.
Vanderpool. To Mayers.
Needs to get a shot off.
Short, rebound by Hankins, and he'll head to the line.
How important is it for the Capers to have Keon Mears back on the floor after missing all last season?
Well, I think it's huge. I think guard play is really where they were a little maybe weak last year, and they really were going to look towards Keon Mears to replace former AUS MVP Jimmy Dorsey. And with him into the lineup, I really think that kind of threw off their game plan for the year.
Yeah, Mayers was great in Dorsey's last year. He was a great contributor for them in his first year with the Capers. And it's
Stolen
stolen.
by Hankins, over to Amoa.
Looked like there was a little travel there.
Referee didn't see one. Over to Vanderpool. A couple moves. 6 seconds remaining in the quarter. Mayers will bowl and he'll hit. So at the end of the first quarter, the Seahawks lead the Capers 14-13.
Again, you can hit us up on Twitter at Dylan_White or at AlexMcLeod24. We'd love to hear from you, whether it's feedback, questions, criticism, shout-outs, really anything. We'll read your tweet on air.
So Dylan, what do you think? Another low-scoring game here in the first quarter. What do you think both teams have to do to try and get their offensive efficiency up?
Well, they're getting good looks, especially the Capers. They just need to start finishing. And if you're Memorial, you really want to start boxing out the Capers a bit more. They're getting a lot of offensive rebounds and second chances, and sooner or later the Capers are going to start capitalizing on those second chance opportunities.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dylan. What do you think Coach Skin is telling his Capers right now?
Well, they know they're a better team than Memorial. They bet them by 20 points last night. They just need to keep on focusing on the little things and playing good defense, and I think that eventually they'll separate themselves from Memorial.
I think that's a fair point, Dylan.
Capers have a lot of coaches on their bench, a lot of non-dress players, I guess.
Yeah. Couple. Of course, they have their two assistant coaches, head coach Matt Skin, as well as assistant coaches Ronnie Shaw and Billy Burns.
Your Uncle Billy.
My uncle, correct. As well as their student manager. Sydney Wilson. Into the game for the Capers is a falter. And Jackson carries. Over to Amoa. Over to Hankins. He gets it down low to Lou File. And he can't convert, but he'll head to the line for two.
Seahawks foul number 33, Caleb Gould, his first, team foul number 1.
If you ever don't hear me for a minute or so, it's probably because I'm gone sneezing. You know, allergies are getting pretty bad.
Number 12, Blue File.
Blue File connects on the first free throw. Foul was on number 33, Caleb Gould. His first personal, as Mishak hits the second.
Oh, it looked like he may have been out of bounds. That also looked like it was close to.
play there by the Seahawks.
Good tip.
Good hustle there by Gould. Nice hustle by Jackson. Tempo really accelerated. Oh, bad pass there by a falter. Right idea trying to find Lufile down low.
Yeah, a falter kind of faltered on that pass right there.
Yes, he did, Dylan. Yes, he did. Kasusi inbounds.
Capers are pressuring a little bit. 1-3-1 press.
Kasusi with the ball. Over to Moffitt. Gets it to Hawksley. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Gould with the free throw line jumper.
Stay Gould, pony boy.
Okay. Amoa pushes it up. He'll shoot. And he gets it to go.
Seth Amoa from Montreal, Quebec, along with Jean-Louis. Montreal,
Gould gets it
great
down low.
city to
He
visit.
can't hit. And it's off of a falter. That's going to be Seahawks possession.
Into the game, the Seahawks, number 22, Emmanuel Goldie.
Yes, Montreal is a great city to visit, Dylan.
Yeah, interrupted my banter a little bit there, Alex.
Well, you know, some of us are watching the game, Dylan. Over to Renton. Down to Prinsalu. He takes the mid-range jumper. He can't get it to go. Rebounded by Jackson. Over to Amoa. And back to Jackson.
And here's Jackson getting in the paint, but he'll reset.
Skip pass to Amoa. He'll pull and connect. And timeout Seahawks. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the second quarter. The Capers have jumped out to a 5-point lead, 19-14.
Looks like the Capers are starting to take control of this game.
What do you think that the Seahawks have to do in order to quiet the Capers' offensive burst so far in the second quarter?
Well, they just need to step up defensively. There's not much else to it. Box out, get rebounds. Try and shut down the Capers' better players like Mayers and Mishak.
Okay. I think having some turnover problems so far in the second quarter. Jackson very quick on the defensive end. Maybe they have to look to avoid going to his side of the floor, I guess.
And we have a tweet from @GordonCD10. She says, today's commentary is even better than yesterday's unheard commentary. Practice makes perfect.
Personally, I loved yesterday's unheard commentary. I thought it was great.
It was terrific.
Prinsalu with the ball over to Kofi. Finds Moffitt. Back to Prinsalu, over to Kofi. Over to Ranton. He'll pull up the long two. And can't get it to drop. Rebound by Hankins. Over to Amoa. Amoa attacks. Can't get it to drop. Nice tip in there by Amoa.
We'll have to do better on those defensive boards.
Nice poke from behind there by Devereaux. Oh, Jackson with an ill-advised pass there. Prinsalu carries. Over to Ranton. He'll feed Prinsalu for three. Can't hit. Offensive rebound by Ranton, and he puts in the easy two.
And Tavon Jackson has it, running the offense for CBU.
Devereaux attacks. He finds Hankins. He'll take the mid-range jumper and air balls. Over to Kofi. Kofi dishes to Prinsalu. Over to Moffitt. Moffitt loses control of it, regains it.
There might have been a bit of a travel there.
And Seth Moa has a one-on-one here with Pernsalu and comes up short on the finger roll. Pernsalu carries for the Seahawks. Over to Kofi. Over to Moffett. Over to Gould. To Kofi. Kofi finds Ranton. Ranton with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it down low to Gould.
And there's a foul on Devereaux.
Foul on Devereaux late in the shot clock. About 4 minutes gone by in our second quarter. The Capers lead 21-16. As Gould will have the line to try and make it a one-possession game.
Three new Capers into the game. AJ Gujez, Kenny Jean-Louis, and Vishal Banipal.
We have a shooting violation. So we'll Gould to shoot another one. And still can't connect.
Big rebound there from Jean-Louis. And a big block there on Jackson.
Daniel Fu into the game for the Seahawks out of Corner Brook, Newfoundland.
Played him in Cobol a few years ago, Alex.
Yeah, I'm sure he's enjoying being back in Cape Breton.
Yeah. Capers are going to have to be the Foo Fighters right now.
Yes, they are, Dylan. In case you haven't noticed, Dylan is a big fan of using puns.
Yeah. Some are good, some are awful.
Most of them are bad.
But you know what?
Moffett hits the first.
Gotta say them anyway.
I think you should come off it.
Okay, I used that last night in the unheard commentary, and you just stole it, Alex. So, I don't think that's honorable.
Over to Banipal. He kicks to Jackson. Back to Banipal. And a bump by Fu. His first personal foul. Second team foul of the quarter.
And Jackson will inbound for the Capers.
Seth Moa will replace Kelson Devereaux.
Going to be an
Jeremy Hickey
foul
into the game for the Seahawks, and he picks up an off-ball foul. Jackson to inbound. He finds a Moa. Moa to Gooches, and he sends it into the second row.
Fan got the ball off the head there. Getting her head in the game.
Into Kofi, over to Fu. Fu hands off to Moffett. Back to Fu. Down low to Ranton. He'll turn. Gets it back to Moffett. And Jean-Louis gets called for the handsy foul.
About halfway through the second quarter here. It's 21-18 for the hometown Capers.
Ranton gets the ball, gets the mid-range jump shot to bank in. Nice shot there by Ranton. Seth Amoa carries for the Capers. Over to Jean-Louis. Over to Jackson. Back to Amoa. Amoa takes, and he'll score with the easy layup.
And Fu pushes it up the floor to Moffett. Almost back over.
Back to Fu. Down low to Hickey. Hickey gets the two to drop. Jackson with the ball for the Capers. Over to Jean-Louis. He'll pull the three and connects.
Hand in his face.
Fu drives. He goes up with the left hand, can't get it to drop.
And he tips it out of bounds. Capers ball.
Hankins, Mayers, Devereaux, and Lufile check back in for the Capers. Mayers to Hankins. He gets it down low to Mishak, and he puts it into 2.
Mishak has been very efficient so far in these first 2 games.
It's good to see them going to him on the offensive side of the floor. You know, he works hard on defense.
Yep. And Fu turns
And
it
Devereaux
over.
with the steal. And goes in for the finger roll. Fu with it. Over to Ranton.
Ranton's a good 3-point shooter.
Ranton gets it to Moffitt, another good 3-point shooter. Moffitt takes, throws up a circus shot, and is fouled and will head to the line to shoot 2.
Capers foul number 6, Kyle Hankins. That's his first team foul number 4.
And Moffitt can't get the first one to drop. He'll try and get the back end. And hits.
And K.A. Mears looking to get the offense rolling for CBU. And screen and roll action. Moa can't get the floater to drop.
Good
but he
hustle to get his
fights
own
for the
rebound. Good to
And
see 3 Capers. Nice little trick shot after the whistle there. It's good to see 3 Capers on the floor there. Great hustle.
they seem to want the rebounds more than Memorial does thus far in this game.
Yep, more aggressive on the loose balls, that's for sure.
We got a tweet from CBU alumni saying, "Job well done, boys." Nice to hear the good feedback.
Yeah, thank you very much. Fu with the ball, over to Kofi. Gets it back to Fu. Back to Kofi. Back to Fu. Fu tries to force one down low, can't get it there. Amoa attacks. He
Nice
finds
kick out.
Devereaux in transition. Over to Mayers. Amoa. Lufile. And Lufile will head to the line for 2.
Just under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. It's 30-23 right now for the Cape Breton University Capers, ranked 6th in the country.
Lufile can't hit the first of 2 at the line. And connects on the second. Both teams will be in the bonus for the remainder of the quarter. Kofi with the ball, over to Prince Alu. Up ahead to Moffitt. Back to Kofi to calm things down. Screen by Hickey. Into the corner for Branton, sorry. And it will remain Seahawks ball with 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Re-entering the game for Memorial number 33, Caleb Gould. Back in the game for the Capers, number 8, Christian Walter.
Prince Alu to inbound, gets it to Gould. Back to Prince Alu. Over to Kofi, doesn't realize the time. Prince Alu does, and banks into prayer.
I think I vomited in my mouth a bit after that shot, Alex.
Yeah, well, you know, toss one up and good things happen when you get it towards the rim.
And
As Mishak hit a test too, he puts in the deuce. And Kofi gets called for the carry. Folter has checked in for the Capers.
Looking to see some dunks from him today. Apparently he's one of the best dunkers in the AUS.
And a timeout. Seahawks. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Capers leading 33-26. Dylan, what do you think that the Seahawks need to do in order to make a little push going into the half?
Well, like I said earlier, they need to avoid giving the Capers second chance opportunities. Not the Chapers. But the Capers just seem to be working harder than the Seahawks right now and playing better defensively. What do you think the Seahawks have to do, Alex?
Well, I think that the transition defense is really where they're getting beat for the most part. I think they have to work harder on maybe send a man back and not crash the offensive boards as much, and be ready for transition.
And we're ready to get back underway here. Capers looking to improve to 2-0 on the season. Decent crowd here today.
Not quite as full as last night, but pretty good crowd for a matinee event. The inbound to a Falter, who we have said is one of the better dunkers in the league, and they tried to show that off there. Unable to connect. Over to Breton for three. He can't get it to drop. I'd like to see the aggressiveness from the Capers coming out of the timeout. Try and get that lob up there.
Mishak gets a foul on that play, and Memorial will go to the line.
Gould connects on the first, as well as the second, to make it a 5-point game, just under 2 minutes off.
And Mares pushes it up the floor and to run the offense.
Gets to Hankins.
And it's stolen.
Moffitt pushes it up the court.
Looks like he tried to do a little stiff arm there on Mares.
And then he was looking for a foul. Interesting. Nice finish there by a Falter.
Shows off his athleticism on that play. A Falter is from Bern, Switzerland.
Over to Parnsalu. Parnsalu finds Moffitt cutting, and he'll get the deuce. Mayers carries for the Capers. He'll feed a Falter. Gets it to Devereaux. Devereaux finds a Falter. He'll pull the three. And three-pointer is good.
Falter showing off his skills late here in the second quarter.
Been a good spark off the bench here in the second quarter for the Capers. Didn't really see much playing time in last season, but improved this offseason and is looking to help the Capers.
Might have been a travel there on Moffitt, but ball doesn't lie.
And a Falter maybe a little bit too aggressive there and gets called for the offensive foul.
19 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Memorial will probably look to hold for the last shot.
As Gujas checks into the game for Mishak to foul.
Probably don't want Mishak to pick up any fouls late in the second.
Parnsalu with the ball for the Seahawks. He has the lane to the net. Can't get it to drop.
Good defense there.
Foul on somebody. Foul goes against the Capers, number 15, AJ Gujas. So Moffitt will head to the line and shoot two. Connects on the first.
second
the
is
second
no
to drop.
good.
Mayers with the rebound.
Mayers gets it up the floor.
5 seconds remaining in the half. He finds the first row, and there's 0.7 seconds remaining in the half.
Enough time to get off a really quick shot.
Ranton turns and fires.
No
And
good.
can't hit. So at the half, the Capers lead the Seahawks by scoring 38-31.
And we'll go to Chuck, Ernie, Shaq, and the boys with the TNT halftime show. We'll be back after that. Hello, folks. Hope you enjoyed the halftime show with Chuck, Ernie, Kenny, and Shaq. Dylan and Alex back with you for the second half of action. Capers lead 38-31 over the Memorial Seahawks. Alex, what do you think Memorial have to do to get back in this game?
Well, I think the main thing is on defense. They have to get back in transition and try and make the Capers run one of their sets in the half court. And on offense, I think they just have to get the ball down low and try and work the post a little bit more.
Yep, inside out action, dog. We're about ready to get back underway here. See who the Capers put on the floor to start the second half. It's going to be Jackson, Kelson Devereaux, Meshach Lufile, Kyle Hankins, and Amoa.
And on the floor for the Seahawks is we have Moffitt, Prinsalu, Quofi, Gould, and Ranton.
And Amoa has the ball right now. Doesn't want the screen from Lufile. Gets down low. Devereaux the three, and it's good.
Devereaux. You can see Devereaux contributing to the offense this year.
Yeah, that's Kelson's second three of the game.
As anyone who's watched the Capers over the past few seasons know, Devereaux is a great fundamentals player who does the intangibles, but he's also proven himself today to be an efficient scorer.
Yeah. And Ranton can't get the roll on the short jumper. And here's Devereaux pushing it up the floor. Kicks it out. Moa. And Tavon Jackson
finds Devereaux. Devereaux gets into the paint, finds Jackson for three. Can't hit. Rebound by Gould over to Quofi. He finds Prinsalu, who will take the mid-range jumper and hit.
And here's Seth Amoa taking it up the floor for the Capers. Lufile can't handle the pass, but it's going to remain Capers ball. TJ inbounds for the Capers.
Over to Amoa. Amoa, TJ will pull the three.
And can't get it to go. 3-on-1 here for Memorial.
Quofi gets in Prinsalu and he'll put in the layup.
Good execution there for the Seahawks. Amoa will take it up to the floor. And now Jackson has it.
Devereaux with the ball, down to Hankins. Strong move by Hankins, and he gets fouled, and he'll head to the line for two.
Hankins has been playing well over the first two games. And Keon Mears will come to the game for Tavon Jackson. And Hankins misses the first free throw.
Can't hit the second, and Quofi with the ball for the Seahawks. Over to Prinsalu. They get it to Ranton, then to Gould down low. He tries to put a move on Meshach, and Seth Amoa with the steal.
Amoa gets it into the paint, kicks it up to Devereaux, and
Devereaux
he can't get
hit.
his third three of the game, but
And
Meshach puts it back with it on. And there's a steal from Mears.
Over
Gets
to
it to
Devereaux,
Devereaux.
behind him. Up to Moffitt.
Nice
Moffitt
pass.
with Prinsalu, and
What a
he gets
block.
by Hankins.
Again, as Dikembe would say, not in my house.
Prinsalu with the ball for the Seahawks. He gets it to Ranton.
And
Mayers gets called for the foul.
Capers foul number 1, Keon Mears is first. Team foul number 1.
again, you can hit us up on Twitter at Dylan_White. at Alex McLeod 24. We'd love to hear your feedback. Any questions or comments, criticism, whatever you have for us. Yeah, shout-outs.
Kofi finds Prinsalu for the mid-range jumper. Can't hit. Rebounded by Ranton.
Three guys on him. Can't get it.
Gould gets it to drop.
Memorial are staying in this game so far. They're keeping it to within 10 anyway.
Mayers carries for the Capers. He finds Devereaux. Gets a down low to Lufile. Lufile goes to work, and Kofi goes for the steal. Can't quite control it, so it's going to be Capers ball with 11 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
And Mayers inbounds. And Kelson has it. Devereaux swings it back. Hankins looks inside to Mishak, and the foul. And Mishak will look to complete the 30-point play. And Kenny Jean-Louis is back into the game for the Capers.
Also into the game for the Capers is AJ Guges. He'll be replacing Lufile
After the shot.
after the free throws.
And it's no good.
So Guges will check in at the next whistle. Prinsalu with the ball for the Seahawks.
Maybe Mishak just wanted a few more minutes playing time. And it's
He
a
gets
foul.
called for the foul.
Devon Jackson and Vishal Banable will both come into the game along with Gujes, Mayers, and Moa. Moa will come in.
Kofi can't connect on the first.
Second free throw is good for Kofi. And Jackson pushes it up the floor for the Capers. Gets into the paint, dishes
Gets it
it
down low
off.
to Guges.
And missed a foul there. Seemed like a pretty obvious
Seemed like a pretty blatant foul there, but no whistle.
Seahawks foul. Correction, Capers foul number 10, and Jean-Louis is third.
And Ranton misses his first free throw. 45 to 38 is the score. About 4 minutes through the third quarter here at Sullivan Fieldhouse in Sydney.
In favor of the home team Capers.
Yes, sir.
Jackson with the ball for the Capers. Over to Guges. Over to Jean-Louis. Down to Hankins. He puts it off the backboard. And it's going to remain Capers ball with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
And Banapole gets the ball.
Hankins with it. Good strong move, and he gets the and one to drop.
And Hankins will look to complete the three-point play. And Hickey is going to come into the game after the free throw for Memorial.
And Hankins can't convert the three-point play. Rebound by Gould.
That's three straight missed free throws there for Hankins.
Prinsalu carries. Hands off to Moffitt. Over to Quofi. Down to Ranton. Ranton goes. Takes harder. The post, and he'll head to the line for two.
Capers foul number 6, Sean Hankins is second. Team foul number 4, re-entering the game for the Seahawks, number 52, Jeremy Hickey.
And Ranton's first free throw is no good.
Really really important to make your free throws when you're trying to make a comeback in the second half of the game. And connects on the second.
Breton Education Center. Breton Education Center Bears coach John Guy Demeter writes in, I just turned the webcast on. Is Akeem Isaac playing today?
He hasn't been on the floor yet today.
I don't think he's dressed either.
Dressed.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like all the dressed players for CBU have been in the game.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dylan. As I was saying, Kasusi is checked into the game for the Seahawks, as well as Hickey.
And it's going to be Seahawks ball on the baseline.
Gonzalo with the ball, over to Kasusi. He gets it back to Prinsalu. He'll drive baseline, kick to Kofi, over to Kasusi. He'll shoot the three.
Good ball movement there.
Hit by Gujas. And Jackson carries for the Capers.
And here's Jean-Louis inside to Gujes. And the three from Banapal is no good. Big rebound from AJ there. And Banapal gets another shot at it, and it's good. 50-39 is the score right now for the Capers. They're laying on the pressure.
Prinsalu with the ball for the Seahawks. Over to Kofi. Kofi finds Prinsalu in the corner. Can't hit the three. Rebounded by Kofi.
4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Prinsalu over to Kasusi. Stolen by Jackson.
And there's a foul.
And he gets called for the travel, actually. Travel before the foul.
Oh, okay.
Good call by the official there.
Maybe making up for the non-call on that Devon Jackson foul earlier in the quarter.
Maybe. Not a mind reader, Dylan. Over to Kofi.
Okay.
Over to Kasusi. Over to Kofi. Down low to Ranton. Ranton will square and shoot. He can't connect. Rebound by Vanderpool.
And TJ takes the ball up the floor for the Capers. Jean-Louis swings it to Amoa. Banapal travels, and it's going to be Seahawks possession.
Chambers will check in for Kofi. Gonzalo with the ball. Trying to make something happen. Finds Ranton. He'll attack. Little floater. Can't get a drop. Rebound by Hickey. And he'll draw the foul, and he'll head to the line for two.
I think that foul was on Gujes. That's Gujes' third foul. Kelson will come into the game now for CBU.
Hickey connects on the first. Trying to make it a single-digit lead for the Capers. And he does.
And Banapal will come out of the game for CBU. Kelson Devereaux will come in. And Jackson running the point for the Capers. Devereaux has it, runs a pick and roll. Gujes wide open.
Nice pass down low to Gujes.
Really nice roll on that screen by Gujes.
Seahawks are in the bonus now, so look for them
Hit
to
by
try
Jackson.
to be a little bit more aggressive.
Oh!
Seth Amoa!
Oh my lord!
Seth Amoa erupts for the one-hander.
Wow. Alex, as someone who in his past basketball career got dunked on, how do you think the Memorial player is feeling right now after that dunk?
Well, you know what happens.
course.
Salu at the line.
Of course, Mr. McLeod got dunked on by former caper Kevin McLeod in Coal Bowl of 2011. I'm sure if you Googled the footage, you might be able to find it.
Salu can't hit.
And Jackson gets it over to Devereaux. Devereaux, beautiful
Pass.
pass. And the Capers seem to be pulling away after that big dunk from Seth Amoa. Pressure.
Salu will pull it back and try and set something up. Over to Chambers. He finds Ranton in the corner.
Nice pump fake.
Pulls up to the mid-range jumper and connects.
And Jackson running the offense. Here's Amoa.
Amoa over to John Louis, over to Jackson.
Nice pass. Here's Jean-Louis, back to Jackson for three, and it's good. Capers are starting to heat up on offense now, Alex.
Capers really have the momentum in their favor right now.
Jackson gets called for the foul.
A little bit over-aggressive going for that steal.
Again, you can hit us up on Twitter at Dylan_White or at AlexMcLeod24. Give us your thoughts on that vicious dunk from Seth Amoa, or just give us feedback on how we're doing with the commentary. Shout outs that you want to give, where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you.
Salu rattles in the first free throw. And connects on the second. Jackson with the ball for the Capers. Just under a minute and a half left in the third quarter. Capers lead by 14.
Moa has it on the wing for the Capers. Doesn't want the screen from John Louis. Pulls up. Can't get it to fall.
Rebound by Moffitt.
Oh, and a little miscommunication there.
Up to Chambers. He'll find Branton in the corner. Back here to Salu. Over to Ranton. He'll force up the mid-range and banks it home.
I think he called that bank, Alex.
I think he was going for that one, yeah.
And just under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Tavon Jackson swings it over to Kelson Devereaux. Passes up the three, gets into the paint, and a nice
play by Jackson.
Looks like he's going to be a good player for the Capers this year. It's only
very quick, very good hands on defense.
Yeah,
as well as a good distributor on offense.
Only his second game in AUS basketball.
10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Devereaux over to Jackson. He'll shoot a deep three.
And it's no good.
And can't find the rim on that one.
Can't find his inner Jimmer.
No, he can't. Of course, a reference to former BYU player, current Sacramento King.
I think he's on the Pelicans now.
Is he on the Pelicans now?
I don't know. I only know from playing NBA 2K15.
Okay.
But he may have been traded again. Who knows?
I don't know.
He's bouncing around everywhere. Well, we have some sideline reporting on that dunk. Our sideline reporter from ESPN, Doris Burke, I think is talking to Seth Amoa right now. Doris, what do you got for us? Doris. Doris. Doris Burke has just been incompetent for us so far this year. She's not doing her job. Might have some technical difficulties, I don't know, but we had to fire her at Coal Bowl last year, so I think we might have to pull the plug on Doris again this year.
She's a nice lady.
I don't know about that, Alex. I don't know about that.
So Capers leading by 12 here going into the fourth quarter. Dylan, what do you think the Seahawks have to do in order to get back into this one?
I think they need to score more baskets than the Capers, Alex.
That usually helps, Dylan. Any idea how they're going to do that?
Put the ball in the net.
Okay, so that works out.
And we're almost ready to get back underway for the fourth quarter of play. The score is 61-49 for the Cape Breton University Capers. Again, you can hit us up on Twitter at Dylan_White or at AlexMcLeod24. If you have better analysis than I just offered, we'd love to hear that. Feedback, shout-outs, where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you.
On the floor for the Seahawks are Prinsalu, Quofi, Fu, Breton, and Moffitt.
And it's going to be Hankins inbounding for the Capers. Jackson has the ball at the point, and Devereaux gets it on the wing. Mishak gets it down low, kicks it out, but it's back inside. Oh!
And Hankins can't get the putback jam to go. Prinsalu pushes. Quofi finds Moffitt, finds Prinsalu, finds Fu. Over to Ranton. Moffitt. He gets stripped by Jackson. Up to Jean-Louis, and he puts it in. Prinsalu with the ball. Over to Quofi. Over to Ranton. He'll drive baseline. Nice pass down low to Quofi. He can't hit. Jean-Louis with the ball. He's stripped. Prinsalu up to Moffitt. Finds Quofi. Over to Fu. And over to Ranton. We'll try and slow something down. Down low to Prinsalu. He'll pull.
Nice
And
shot.
connects. Nice shot by Prinsalu there.
And Hankins inbounds to TJ, and he'll take it up the floor for the Capers. Gonna run the offense. And here's Jean-Louis. Little screen and roll action. Mishak isn't open. And it's rebounded by Memorial.
Quofi heads it up to Fu. Over to Moffitt in the corner. Down low to Ranton. He'll go hard, and he'll get fouled by Hankins, so he'll head to the line and try and get two.
And Seth Amoa and Keon Mares will come into the game for the Capers.
There will play Jackson as well as Jean-Louis. Ranton unable to hit the first of two free throws.
Ranton's been struggling from the free throw line here today.
The Seahawks in general have been struggling with the free throw line today.
And he missed both.
Rebound by Hankins over to Mayers.
Pushes it up the floor to Seth Amoa. Three from Nares is no good. Rebounded by Moffitt.
Quofi with the ball. Over to Fu. He finds Moffitt. Moffitt gets it down low to Ranton. Ranton finds Fu. Fu goes off the glass, can't get it.
And Devereaux rebounds it, pushing it in transition for the Capers.
Nice
Hands
lead
it to
for
Mishak.
Mishak.
And
And looks like an offensive foul on Devereaux.
Capers lead by 12 right now. 7.5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter of action at Sullivan Fieldhouse in Sydney. Wiping some sweat off the floor right now. Ready to get back into action soon.
Keon Mayer showing multi-talents as he's able to clean up the floor there. Not only a great basketball player, maybe a great janitor as well.
Never know.
Over to Moffat. Moffat hands off to Pransalu. Gets it to Fu. Fu finds Ranton. Ranton with a nice fake. And gets the and one to drop.
Beautiful up and under move right there from Ranton. See if he can get the free throw to fall. Of course, as we mentioned, he's been struggling from the line tonight. Jean-Louis will come into the game for Hankins.
And Ranton's free throw struggles continue.
And here's Mayers. Can't find Devereaux, but now he does.
Moa drives baseline, can't get it to Mishak.
And Mishak fouls Fu before they can get the fast break started.
He was fouled for 12, Mishak Rufai. This is third team foul number 4.
Fu with the ball, back to Pransalu, back to Fu.
Break the press with ease, and Fu
Kicks to Ranton for 3.
Splash! Ranton's shooting fairly well from 3, but just can't seem to put it together on the free throw line.
I think every other part of his game is going pretty well so far, other than at the charity stripe.
Amoa keeps his
Nice
pivot
pass
foot.
to
Nice
Jean-Louis.
pass.
Nice cut as well.
Almost a goaltend there, but
Almost.
ended up falling anyway.
Over to Ranton.
Ranton thought about pulling it.
He'll take a step back. Tries to draw the foul. No whistle.
And Mayers pushes it up. He finds Amoa, thought about pulling it, but doesn't. And Devereaux gets it down to Lufile. Double
And
teamed
it's
and
still by
stripped.
Kofi.
Good foul there by
Maybe a
Cam
clear
Mayers.
pass foul. Maybe not.
It was foul number 1, Keon Mayers.
It's a regular foul and
Team foul number 5.
But that
that
is
is
bonus.
no team fouls for the Seahawks so far this quarter. 5 for the Capers.
Kofi misses the first free throw, continuing the Seahawks' struggles from the line.
I know what the Seahawks are going to be doing in practice this week, Dylan.
Hey, they missed a lot of free throws, and it's only a 10-point game right now. Could have been the difference.
And an offensive rebound by Ranton. He dishes out to Kofi. Back down to Ranton. Nice move by Ranton.
Got to finish that layup, though.
And Pransalu will shoot the 3. He can't connect. Gets his own rebound. Over to Fu. And he'll slow things down. Over to Kofi. Kofi to Fu. Nice move by Fu. Fu gets right to the
Nice
rim.
pass.
Tries to dish down to Gould, who wasn't ready for the pass.
Was a nice pass there by Fu, though.
Right idea there, yep. Amoa takes the 3. He's short.
Here's Kofi. And he turns it over.
Again, right idea, just a little bit too far ahead of Gould there.
And a little delay now that the ball is in the other gym.
No hustle enough bartender Kayla Walzak to go get that one for the official.
Yeah. Shout out to new Waterford legend Lowell Cormier in the stands today.
Former Caper assistant coach.
Yep. And always a fixture at these Capers games, along with Johnny Chesson, another New Waterford legend in the stands today.
Mayers with the ball, he'll attack. Little floater off the glass, and it's good. Capers extend their lead to 11 with just under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Kofi with the ball for the Seahawks.
This game isn't out of reach yet for Memorial. All it takes is a few plays.
Down to Ranton. Ranton attacks. Can't get it to drop.
And
Amoa can't corral that rebound, and it's going to be Seahawks possession.
Kayla must have heard us there. She hustled up to get that ball.
Gonzalo with a wide open look. He can't get it to drop.
And Mayers, maybe a bit of a travel there once he got the ball, but
Maybe
no
a
call.
little tip by Parnsalu there. Kofi with the ball.
And it's a
And
foul on
he's going to head to the
Amoa.
line. It's bonus as a foul on Amoa is called.
Capers foul number 7. Stephen Moa is second.
And Kofi makes his first free throw, making it a 10-point game in favor of the Capers. And the second is no good. Big rebound there by Kayon Mayers.
And Jackson will slow things down. Jean-Louis down at Mishak. Couldn't quite bring that pass in. That's a turnover. And the ball will be going to the Seahawks. Another
Inadvertent.
errant buzzer today. Kofi with the ball. Over to Ranton.
They're kind of a buzzkill in this game, Alex.
Yeah, kind of.
Fu.
Fu with a nice take. He can't get the finger roll to drop.
Big rebound from Mishak. And TJ pushes it up the floor for the Capers. And Jackson has it. And they're going to call a foul on Kofi.
Seahawks foul number 22.
It's only their first foul of the quarter.
Team foul number 1. Back in the game for the Seahawks, number 7, Nolan Moffitt. Entering the game number 9, Gary Thompson. Back into the game for the Capers, number 6, Kyle Hankins.
Hankins back in the game for the Capers. Blue File is double teamed and
Stolen
turns it
by
over.
Moffitt. Pernsalu with it. He finds Hawksley. He finds Kofi. Over to Pernsalu. Over to Moffitt. Nice spin
spin.
move by Moffitt in the fade. Can't get that one to drop.
And here's Jackson. Looking to slow things down here. Mishak has good position down low and can't finish despite the contact.
And out of bounds off of Hankins. That will be Seahawks ball.
Just under 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. It's a 10-point lead for the Capers, 67-57.
Hawksley for three. He can't connect.
And out of bounds. Capers ball.
Amoa takes it up court for the Capers. He'll feed Mishak Blue File down low. Blue File with a strong move.
And
he gets the two. Timeout, Seahawks. Well, Dylan, the Capers picked up a win yesterday, and in other AUS action, let's see, UNB beat KEF 88-72. St. Mary's beat St. Yvette's 98-62. And Dalhousie beat UPEI 93-84.
thanks for that, Alex. Some scores around the league. Not even going to go back to Doris during this timeout because she's just been terrible for us.
I hope Doris Burke is listening, Bill.
I hope she is too. Maybe she'll start doing her job for
I
us
hope
on the
so.
sidelines. And we're ready to get back underway. Last few minutes of this fourth quarter. Capers lead by 12, 69 to 57. And it's Memorial ball on the baseline.
And Kofi will take it, and he'll try and get it to Moffitt, but can't.
And here's Seth Amoa. Had the big dunk earlier in the game, passes it off to Jean-Louis. And here's Hankins, Amoa open. And there's going to be a foul.
Touch foul there by Moffitt.
Seahawks foul for 7-year-old Moffitt. Team foul number 2. Back in the game for Memorial.
Capers will get the ball on the sideline. Jackson inbounding, gets it over to Jean-Louis. And Hankins has it down low. And there's going to be a foul there on Hawksley. That's the third team foul for Memorial in the fourth quarter.
Into Amoa.
And Jackson pulls up for three, and it's good. The lefty. Daniel Food comes back into the game at a Corner Brook, Newfoundland.
Kofi with the ball over to Pernsalu. Over to Food.
Swinging the
Swings it
ball.
around to Ranton. Ranton will attack. Get it
Nice
down low to
pass.
Kofi. He's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2.
A minute and 41 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Kelson Devereaux will come back into the game for the Capers.
He'll replace Hankins.
That was actually the fifth foul on Hankins, so fouled out of the game.
Kofi hits first. And connects on the second.
And Jackson pushes it up the floor and slow things down here.
Devereaux.
Doesn't use the screen, kicks it out. Amoa
Nice
pulls
fake
up.
there by Amoa.
Long two is no good. Looks like there might have been a travel there on Kofi.
Chambers over to Ranton. Ranton over to Pernsalu with a long 2. Fu can't control.
And Meshach Lufile secures the rebound. Jackson will bring it up the floor for the Capers. And Jackson tries to get it to Lufile, but it's tipped.
Kofi over to Ranton. He'll pull a 3. Can't hit. Rebound by Amoa.
Amoa pushes it up the floor, 3-on-2. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Amoa. Fu draws the charge.
Good call there by the official. Looked like Amoa dropped the shoulder.
Seahawks will call a timeout. I believe that's their last of the half. Looks like the Capers have this game won, Alex.
Lots of time left in the game. We have 50 seconds. Look for the Seahawks to try and get something going from outside the arc, though. Try and get more bang for their buck for their possessions.
Capers travel to UPEI next weekend to play the Panthers for 2 games. What do you think the Capers have to look to beat UPEI next weekend? The team that knocked them out in the playoffs last year.
Well, the Capers are a lot stronger this year than they were last year. And I know that PEI is without one of their perennial all-stars, Ethan Durwell.
Oh, yes.
So, you know, they have to look to capitalize on his absence. And hopefully they can go and get a couple of W's.
Indeed. We're getting back to it. 45 seconds remaining. Capers lead by 13 here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be Memorial Ball on the sideline.
Prinsalu to inbound. He gets it to Ranton. Over to Kofi. Kofi finds Ranton. He'll shoot a three. He can't connect. Rebound by Prinsalu to Ranton. He'll pull up for a floater. He gets it to drop. 11-point game, just over 30 seconds remaining.
Memorial laying down the pressure, but Hawksley fouls Seth Amoa. One more foul for the Capers to be in bonus. 27 seconds remaining here. Jackson inbounds. Gets it.
Doesn't look as if Seahawks are going to try and extend this game.
Well, 11-point lead right now for the Capers. 15 seconds remaining. And there's going to be a foul, and it looks like Lufa will go to the line for two. I think that foul was on Prinsalu. Nope.
Foul on Gould.
Mishak looking to knock down these two free throws at the end of the game. And he nails the first one.
And if Mishak makes this one, it'll be lucky number 74, so everyone will get free corn dogs. And he can't hit, so nobody gets a corn dog. Prinsalu will pull the deep three. He hits that one.
There's the inner jimmer. And that will do it. 73-64 will be the final score. Capers win and move to 2-0 on the season. I'm Dylan White, and